Which one to take? Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll go with that one. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Tommy here with Sinister Productions, bringing you guys another vlog. So, we did a couple things to the S197 the other day. I can't show you yet because I actually am excited to show you. I've got some parts coming today for it. No, unfortunately, we have not done the wheels yet. Those are going to be saved for a later date. I am going to be getting some tires soon for those, hopefully. But for right now, I think I'm going to ride on the stockers just for a little bit until I do get some tires for it. But I've already done something, a pretty major upgrade to the S197. I'm actually waiting on more parts today because I was supposed to get some parts. They should have all actually been here by now. But for some reason, they had an issue with the shipping and it got returned to sender and turned into a cluster. But it's fixed. It's on the way. All the parts, the remainder parts should be here today. I got a few of the parts here, which I will show you in just a minute. So I've got an appointment today, so I'm going to go and take a ride in my new daily driver, the S1 Blue S197. I did order license plates for it. You guys will have to see that on one of the next vlogs. I don't know, depending on when they're going to get here. So here's the Shelby, still sitting here in the garage. Haven't driven her since I've gotten the blue car, which was the point of all this. So I am going to still drive it. It's just going to be a lot less, that way I can kind of keep the miles down just a little bit. But I'm not one of those guys that, you know, that will not drive it all together, because I don't feel like you should save it for the next person. It's kind of like girlfriends, you know? Y'all get that saying. You don't save your girlfriend for the next guy. You tear the shit out of her. Anyway, so I will be driving the Shelby. That's not a question. I'm just going to be cutting back on how much I do drive it. So I'm actually really enjoying driving the S197. It's a lot of fun. It's slow, but it's a different kind of fun, if you know what I mean. So, and it's a lot more comfortable, a lot more relaxing to drive than the Shelby is. So, all right, guys, hold on just a few minutes. I'm going to go to the appointment, and then we're going to pick this vlog up, and I'm going to show you some of the other parts that I got. Hold tight. As you can tell, it's really quiet in here. The Flowmasters are actually pretty quiet. It's just got the Flowmaster, I think it's like the American Thunder Axleback or something like that on this car, which gives it a nice deep tone. I actually do like that because it kind of reminds me of the old Fox bodies and the old 2 valves, because they had that really deep, you know, Flowmaster type of tone. First impressions of the car, completely stock. It's a very comfortable car to drive. You know, the seats are comfortable. I'm used to that, having to deal with Recaros. And again, I'm a bigger guy, so it's kind of nice to be able to sit in a nice, comfortable seat and not have to worry about how tight it is. Like I said, the car is not fast. It is fun to drive. As you guys know, I did order some suspension parts. I ordered the RTR Tactical Performance fully adjustable front struts and rear shocks for the car. I ordered a RTR adjustable pan hard bar to make sure the rear end stayed center and all that good stuff. A friend of mine, huge shout out to a couple of good friends of mine actually. Paul Austin for helping me with the install and all that good stuff. With the lowering springs and the still got a lot more work to do to the car. I got brakes coming for it, inner outer tie rod ends, which I may or may not use. These are got a little bit of rust on them and corrosion, so I don't know if we're going to need them or not. And of course, like I said, we're going to need the brakes, the pan hard bar, and alignment, and eventually I'm going to put tires and my RTR Aero 7 wheels on the car. Also, a huge shout out to one of the bearded bros. You know who you are, Blaze Up, for hooking me up with lowering springs. Huge shout out to you for that, because I definitely needed those. That definitely saved me some cash in the long run. So first drive with the RTR shocks and struts. I've got them adjusted halfway through, which is like where they tell you to start with the adjustment process. It's a little bouncy. I don't know if it's the springs or if it's the shocks and struts. Whenever you hit a bump, it basically takes you out of the seat because it absorbs it so much. The way, I don't know if it's the setting or what it is, but it kind of jars you to where it feels kind of bouncy. Besides that, they drive great. Handles really well. The car feels so much better to drive as far as handling and drivability goes. Now that it's got the shocks and struts. I mean, the stock ones were fine, but it's kind of, the stock ones were really floaty and just they weren't very good for the car. I mean, they were stiff for what they were, but you really felt between shifts, really felt the car, shift front to back. Morning caffeine. I'm not a coffee drinker, so. But anyway, so initial thoughts on the car itself. I think it's a really cool car. I've never owned an S197 before. I see why everybody likes them. I'm sure the ones with the Coyotes are really quick, but this thing feels so much lighter on its feet and so much nicer now that that I've put the shocks and struts and lowering springs on the car. And again, there's much more to come. This is going to be my focus for a little while. The GT350 is obviously still going to be on the channel, like I said in the last video. That's not going anywhere. That's still my baby. This is a daily driver, and it's going to be a fun daily driver, even though it's not fast. It's going to sound and look good. That's all I'll really need. And, we're going to do this together, so I really can't wait for that. I really can't wait to get the wheels on here. I did order some brakes, like I said, cross-drilled and slided rotors from Power Stop, and also the carbon fiber ceramic brake pads, front and rear, for this thing too. So this thing is definitely going to be able to stop really good. It's going to handle well, stop well, and that's basically what I wanted to do. I want it to be a nice, reliable car, and to do that, it needs these things, to me, in my opinion. So, all right, guys, I will show you in just a moment. Once we get back to the house, I'm going to show you as you can see, it's a little bouncy. Then again, this road that I'm driving on right now is horrible because they're doing construction. I'm sure you guys can see all the cones as I'm passing by, but they're widening this road, which is absolutely horrible because they're destroying everything. And for lowered cars, that really sucks. That's one reason why I'm glad I'm not driving the Shelby as much, because they've got tar and all kinds of stuff all over the place, and the roads are just garbage near where I live now. There's really no way around it. So I don't mind driving this. I just don't want to have to take a Shelby on that kind of roads and get tar all over the car and tar all over the car. So, all right, heading back to the house now, and I will show you guys a few of the other goodies that I got. We ended up getting the front rotors and brake pads and tie rod ends yesterday. Pan hard bar, the rear rotors, and basically everything else that I ordered should be here today. Unfortunately, the rear rotors, there was an issue where they got returned to sender for some reason. Something to do with the shipping label or tracking numbers or something. So I had to call American Muscle and get them to resend. I had to talk to my guy James over there, and had to get him to resend all of the resend the rotors out to me. So, like I said, this will be here today, and I will show you what I've got as soon as we get to the house. All right, so these are just a few of the parts that we've got so far. These are the inner, or sorry, these are can't talk. These are the inner tie rod ends. Those are the outer tie rod ends. Got new ones of those, just because it's got some corrosion and some rust on the ones that are on the car right now. These are the brake pads I ended up getting from Power Stop. Carbon fiber, ceramic, performance pads. I'm going to try those out, see how they do. And then in here, we have the Power Stop cross-drilled and slotted rotors. They're going to be going on this car. These are the fronts. I've got the rears coming. They should, like I said, they should be here today. So we're doing all new brakes, new shock struts, all that good stuff. And now I'm going to show you what the car looks like now that it's been lowered. And then of course we have those beauties right there. The RTR satin black Aero 7s, 20 by 10.5 for the back, 20 by 9.5 for the front. I will now show you what the car looks like lowered. There it is in all of its lowered glory. I will definitely put some pictures in right about now so you can see what the car looked like before. But this is what she looks like right now. This thing definitely dropped it. And again, these are the RTR front and rear adjustable shocks and struts with SVE lowering springs. These are what the lowering springs that I got, which are basically very, very similar to the iBox Sport lines, which lower the car a lot more. I think these lowered about 1.5 inches or 1.75 inches. And like I said, that fitment is right there. Great fitment for the front. It does have a lot of camber for the front. Also do have some camber bolts coming for the front as well, so that way I can adjust the camber on the front, so that way it's not sitting so stance life right there. But as a whole, guys, that thing is really starting to look good. I'm really stoked. I do need to adjust it, but yeah, I'll probably tinker with the adjustables in a little while. It's starting to get really hot out here, so I really don't feel like being out here in the sun. But all right, that is the S197 lowered on SVE lowering springs and the RTR adjustable tactical performance adjustable shocks and struts. Again, I've got the pan hard bar coming for today, fully adjustable pan hard bar. I did order the camber bolts, and the rear rotor should be here today. And then after that, I can get all the brakes installed and make this thing stop again. I had to do a brake flush on it yesterday, an actual full brake flush, not just pull fluid out of the reservoir. I had to pull it out of all the lines, all the calipers, and all that stuff, because the brake pedal was really spongy, and I know the brakes are down to like 3mm, which need to be replaced anyway, and they're pretty brittle. But I went ahead and did a brake flush on it to get that sponginess out of the pedal, because it had a lot of moisture in the lines and stuff like that. You got to get that stuff out of the line, or you're not going to have good brakes. So got the brake flush done on it yesterday, thanks to Paul. Really, again, a huge shout out to you for helping me with that stuff. And then we're going to put the brakes on tomorrow. All right, guys, hold tight. We're going to continue this vlog in just about, well, it's going to be instant for you guys, but tomorrow when I get the brakes, I'm going to show you what those look like when they're on the car. Be back in a minute. All right, guys, this is several days later. This is going to be the end of the vlog. I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. Really appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. A lot of stuff still coming up. I still have the RTR wheels I need to do. I'm waiting on the rear rotors to come in from American Muscle. So the rear power stop, cross drilled, and slotted rotors should be here soon. I got the fronts on. You guys already saw pictures of that. Huge shout out to Anchor Room for sending me the yellow fog light tent. Looks amazing. I really like it. Huge shout out to you guys. One of my sponsors, Anchor Room. Thank you guys very much. Also, for the Shelby GT350, they did send me the objects and mirror are losing or something like that. That was pretty cool. So, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for this vlog. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. See you in the next one. Later.
Everybody wanna play me, everybody wanna change me. Nobody ever gonna phase me. No fake accounts like KD. Doing the shit that I want to. Nobody I'll ever run to. Every time I come, take shots, but I'm